letting society tell you about the best skincare routines, the hottest plastic surgeons, or the cream that will keep your skin from aging. It's time we start asking ourselves, what the fuck is beauty anyway? If we remove all the IG filters, is there more to a beautiful face than just skincare? Well, I'm here to share it with you, and hell yeah, there is. My name is Jen Carrasco. I have been an esthetician, as well as a high-level fitness competitor, and an all-around badass for over a decade. And I need you to know there is way more to keeping your mind and body clean than just a cream. Join me each week as I cut the BS out of getting healthy, caring for ourselves, and caring for our skin. I share real tips, real ingredients, and real experience. Now let's get some answers on what the fuck is beauty anyway. Welcome back, guys. So today I'm going to change up a little bit of my talk. So we are going to go over a little bit of food swaps today. I get a lot of people that contact me for nutrition and diet, but more or less how to eat healthier without giving up the food that they enjoy. So a lot of people want little tricks and trades of what they can do so they can have, their pizza, or they can have their rice, or they can have their little bit of a cheat meal with healthy alternatives. So during prep show, so for any of you guys that don't know, I am a pro figure competitor. I have been competing for about, 5 or 6 years, and I have been into health and nutrition for about 10 to 15 years, give and take, with my learning curve with different nutrition hacks and versus all the different things that are out there. I'm well educated on, the different diets. So for me, and what works for me more or less, is I really like the freedom to be able to count my calories and to eat the things that I enjoy. So getting ready for shows or photo shoots, anything like that, I tend to try to fill up with a lot of bulk to fill my belly up because I'm always hungry. So these are great hacks for you guys, or I shouldn't even say hacks, but food swaps to get more nutrition in your diet, but to keep you fuller, so that way you aren't constantly hungry. Because a lot of times we don't have that mental toughness to where we can say, hey, I'm not going to eat that even though I'm hungry. A lot of us kind of break down and we eat it because we're starving when we're dieting. So this is going to teach you to kind of change your mindset to invest in eating to actually fill you with good food, and then that way you don't go down and start binge eating and gaining a bunch of calories. So first off, let's go over my favorite one of all for the food swap, and that is rice. So during prep, I tend to eat a lot of white rice. There's so many pros and cons out there of white rice is better for you or brown rice, and I'm not getting into that today. But what my favorite food swap is for the rice is cauliflower rice. So a lot of times, if I'm trying to do a little bit more of a lower carb diet, I tend to add the cauliflower rice in a lot of things. So in the morning, I'll do eggs with cauliflower rice, and I'll put salsa in there, I'll put some vegetables, and I'll have a huge dish, and like maybe 150 calories, if that, and I get completely full with that. So that is definitely a great thing to do. I also make a lot of stir fries with it. I tend to put it even in my salads to make me fuller. So there's so many different things that you can do with cauliflower rice. Another thing is that a lot of people tend to go for Gatorades or electrolyte drinks, and I tend to swap that out for coconut water. The reason why is because you're going to have a lot of your potassium in there. You're going to get a lot of your electrolytes. So after I get done with a really hard cardio session or a really good weight session, I tend to have protein, and I will possibly mix it with a little bit of my coconut water for my electrolytes. So another good food swap is also if you tend to want something chewy or sweet or tart in the middle of the day, instead of going for gummies or candies or anything like that, swap it out for a little bit of dried fruit. So keep this to a minimal because dried fruit definitely isn't the best for you all times, but if you want something sweet, I say go ahead and do some like prunes, cranberries, anything that's a little dried fruit. That definitely is going to give you a little bit more fiber as well. Another thing is white sugar. So a lot of people are understanding now how bad white sugar is for you. So a lot of people swap it out with coconut sugar. There's so many different alternatives out there. I tend to go more towards xylitol sugar. I like xylitol because it tastes exactly like sugar and it comes from a plant as well, and there's 0 calories. So you can put it in anything you want to. The only thing with xylitol that I say is start slow and add in, because it can definitely give you a little bit of a run to the bathroom if you OD on it at first. So, but I always swap that out in a lot of my bars that I make homemade, or my juices or smoothies or baking, any of that. You can even swap out with applesauce with baking as well. Instead of using any oils, applesauce is great because it's going to give you a little bit more of that sweetness in a lot of your baking. The next one I would say is oatmeal in the morning. So oatmeal is definitely great for you, but I tend to go more for a buckwheat. The reason why is because it's actually a little bit less calories and it has a lot more fiber in it for you. So another food hack is a lot of people tend to want cereal in the morning, and I found this cereal that I absolutely love, and it's called Sam's cereal, and it literally has 3 ingredients in it, and it's super nutritional for you, tons of fiber in it. But instead of doing cereal, I mean, honestly, go for buckwheat, rolled oats. Just be really conscious because it has a lot of sugar in certain cereals. The next one is going to be for dipping. So I know a lot of people, when you go to family gatherings or whatever, they have dips. So they have ranch dip, different types of dips for whether it be chips, vegetables, whatever they have out there. My suggestion is a lot of times when I go to these events, I will say, hey, I'll bring the dip or whatever else, or I bring my own when I come in. So a lot of times I'll trade it out for hummus. I'll bring in hummus, or I'll make an avocado dip, or I will do a Greek yogurt dip. And they have tons of recipes online for nutritional facts. And if you follow me on my YouTube, I definitely do a lot of little food hacks or food switch outs. So you can see, like, I'll do ice creams or I'll do hummus, different ones like that. Another food swap that I absolutely love is, instead of doing any cheeses or Parmesan cheese, anything like that, I actually switch it and I do nutritional yeast. So nutritional yeast is super beneficial for you. It has tons of vitamin B12 in there, and it has a cheesy taste to it. So I will throw it on my eggs in the morning with my cauliflower rice. I throw it on when I make spaghetti, and a lot of times, here's another food swap. Instead of spaghetti, I will use zucchini noodles, or I even do sweet potato. I'll even throw that in there instead. Or I also do squash. So they make it, I know, like at a bunch of grocery stores, they have alternatives. And so I throw that in there with my sauces, and I put nutritional yeast on there. Nutritional yeast, I even throw that in my salad. So a lot of times, instead of salad dressing, I will do fresh lemon. I will put nutritional yeast in there. I'll do flaxseed in there, and I'll do a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and I mix it up, and it tastes incredible. It tastes just like a dressing, and you have barely any calories. I don't even think you have any calories because nutritional yeast is very minimal. So another thing that I also do is eggs, for instance. So I know a lot of times on the weekends you want to have a good breakfast with your family, and you make baked eggs, or you do hash browns, or whatever else it is. So a lot of times I actually purchased a poacher, but you don't need one. You can just do it with water. And I will poach my eggs so that way I don't have any oil in it. And I also purchased an air fryer. So I will cut up sweet potatoes and I will pop it in my air fryer, and you don't have to have any oil on it. You can season it however you want to, and it tastes just like you fried your potatoes in the morning. So you could do that. You can even switch out your sausage for more of like a turkey sausage or a chicken sausage, and you can have a great Sunday breakfast with that. I really encourage you to buy an air fryer. It is fabulous. You can cook anything in that. You can cook your chicken, you can do frozen vegetables, which are amazing. You take your vegetables, you just throw them in there and you pop them in for maybe like 15 minutes. They get super crisp on the top and you have no oil on them whatsoever. All right, so my next food swap out is mayonnaise. So I know a lot of people love mayonnaise. I cannot stand mayonnaise. I actually like it in my tuna though. That is the one thing. If I have a tuna sandwich, that is fabulous. They do have great alternatives at the store now for mayonnaise. So you can definitely get some great alternatives. I think they make it with like avocado and stuff like that now, which is really, really nice. But I tend to switch out my mayonnaise and I actually will just make avocado instead. So for my tuna sandwiches, if I have tuna sandwiches, I will take tuna with a little bit of avocado and I'll actually add in some mustard and I'll mix it up and it tastes phenomenal. So that is an amazing food swap to do. Another one, I know a lot of people drink soda and you get a lot of people that come back at you about, the aspartame and this and that. So I'm not getting involved in that today, but soda is definitely not good for you. My thing is switch it to sparkling water. A lot of times I go to events and a lot of people are drinking and I don't drink. So I tend to do a lot of sparkling water with lemon or lime. Nobody knows if I'm drinking or if I'm not drinking. So that is a great food swap out as well. Another food swap that I tend to do even when I eat out or even when I'm here at home is we like to cook a lot of like hamburgers and things like that on the weekends. And I will do lettuce wraps. There is a huge amount now. I think a lot of it I get on Amazon. So if you follow me on my Amazon cart, you'll see that as well. There's a lot of low carb buns out that are really beneficial that actually have a lot of high fiber in them. And they're not filled with a bunch of junk that isn't good for you. So, but a lot of times, like if I go to In-N-Out or if we go out and eat, I will switch a lot of that with lettuce wraps. So a lot of places now will make things protein style. I want to say a lot of restaurants are getting really good because when I go places, I'll say, hey, I want to switch out French fries for vegetables and I don't want any oil. I just want them steamed. And the same with salmon or chicken or any of that. When I go out, I ask for it to be steamed or grilled with no oil. And a lot of places will do that for you now. So you just have to ask for it. So also I switch out a lot of my cooking oils and I put in vegetable broth. So it's a great little food swap. It's less calories. You get more nutrition with it as well. And like, again, I went over spaghetti. I usually trade a lot of mine. I'll do like lentil pasta. So that way I get a good amount of fiber in there. You just have to watch how much lentil pasta you do or black bean pasta because it is a little bit higher in calories and fat content. So you just want to be careful with that. Just kind of measure it out. I usually say, like a palm or anything like that. But, honestly, this is more just food swaps and being more nutritional and, having more benefits rather than going with pasta and stuff like that it's really going to spike your insulin. It's going to make you hold on to a lot more fat. I mean, it definitely, you just have to be more savvy with what you do when you go out or when you cook at home. And it's super easy to do. So the next one, I'm going to go over French fries. So I love me a good French fry, just like anybody else. I love sweet potato fries. So like I said again, a lot of times I just do my air fryer. I cut them up, I throw them in, and they're super fucking crispy and they taste really good. They don't have any oil. You add some salt or you add cayenne pepper or any of that on there and that's great. So cayenne pepper as well will also stimulate your metabolism a little bit more. I also do a lot of cinnamon, which helps boost up your metabolism. So the next one I'm going to go over is potato chips. So a lot of people love potato chips. There's great alternatives out there that are at the health food stores now, but you're still getting some oil in there. You're still getting coconut oil. You're getting a lot of other things in there. So I would say cut up your potatoes super thin or your sweet potatoes, throw them in the air fryer. You get a great chip. If not, switch it out for some air popcorn. So make sure that you get real good quality corn and just air pop it. So another thing is sour cream. I know a lot of people love them some sour cream. I hate me some sour cream. I think it's absolutely disgusting. But anyways, tacos, burritos, anything like that that you want, switch it out for some Greek yogurt. Honestly, it really doesn't taste too different. A lot of these food choices, you're just gonna have to understand that they're probably not gonna taste quite the same, but eventually your palate will get used to it. But Greek yogurt is a great alternative for a lot of things. I make a lot of dressings with it. I throw them in a lot of recipes. That with applesauce. There's just a great little things. But instead of sour cream, switch out some Greek yogurt. You can even add in, some chives, some different things in that. Spice it up a little bit. The next thing I'm going to go through is ice cream. So I love ice cream. I am always down for some ice cream. But, it's not good for you. The dairy, everything else. So I actually have a couple things that I do make, and one of them is banana. So I take frozen bananas. I'll actually put in some protein, and I go for the first form protein. I love it. I'll throw in some protein. I'll add in some peanut butter, some cocoa nibs, and I blend it up, and it's a great ice cream. I also have another little food swap that I do, and I have a video on it, and I make it actually frozen kale and spinach, goji berries, protein. So it's literally low carb, high protein, and tons of vegetables, and it tastes so good. It tastes just like ice cream, and you get so full from it because of all of the fiber. So a lot of times, sometimes in the morning, I will definitely have shakes on my way to the office or after my workout. And I know a lot of people tend to go for the smoothies, but unfortunately people OD on a lot of the fruit. Fruit is great, but if you have too much fruit, it's way too much sugar. So a lot of times what I tend to do is I swap out some of the fruit and I add in frozen veggies. So I will do cauliflower, I will do spinach, I'll do kale, and you don't taste it in there, and you get high fiber, you get all your nutrition benefits from frozen vegetables in there. And a lot of people don't understand is I tend to get a lot of frozen things because they take it and they directly put it right into the packaging instead of putting pesticides or anything like that on there, and you get fresh vegetables. So I do a lot of frozen broccoli when they're not in season. I do all of my fruits pretty much frozen because I like to snack on it as well. So instead of ice cream, I tend to go to a lot of like ice cream, or I don't know what it is with my palate, but I tend to like to have a lot of frozen stuff. And frozen stuff is not nutrition. I mean, it's not nutritional. I tend to go for, sorbets or ice creams. So I tend to have a lot of frozen fruit in there, and I'll snack on frozen strawberries, frozen berries. I tend to do berries rather than bananas or papayas or pineapple because berries are high fiber and they're low glycemic, so they won't spike your insulin as much. So I just wanted to go over also fats. So you have good fats and you have bad fats. So a lot of times making healthier choices. I know a lot of people do keto diets and things like that, and we can get into that another day. I think keto has a purpose, but to a certain point. But I don't believe in a lot of the higher fats with the keto. So I tend to do a lot more avocado, a lot of nuts and seeds in my diet. I tend to do a lot of fibrous lentils, black beans. I do a lot of fasting through the week as well. Just wanted to share a couple food swaps that I do in my daily routine. Hopefully you guys like this. Let me know and share it if you do. Give me some feedback on other food swaps that you would like to hear about. Definitely this is not what I say is a healthy nutritional lifestyle of the food swaps, but it's something that I do, something that benefits me, helps me lose weight, and gives me a lot of vegetables and a lot of fiber in my daily routine. So hopefully you guys like today and make this week fucking amazing. Thanks for tuning in this week. I hope you feel more empowered and more inspired to love the skin you're in. As we navigate new society norms and beauty daily, make sure to always ask yourself, what the fuck is beauty to me? And know that's all that matters. If you love this content today, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review. Follow me and get more info on my guests at Virago viragostudio.com. Yes, I said it, viragostudio.com. And that's the shit. See you on the next episode, beauties.